Sorry. Oh, shut up.
On a rotating, whirling, twirling rock in space that is just a fantasy in your head.
Comes to a light in the sky being a gas in a vacuum. Second law of thermodynamics violation, a violation of a natural law.
Of the chemtrails, they put little, these nanobot things, that come down, come inside of us.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. We are the Shills, and welcome to the SillyShillShow. On tonight's show, we have Conspiracies by Hans, we have FlatEarthForums.com, and we have Creators Corner with a fantastic Zpostate. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me hand this over to the ringleader of our silly little circus here, the one and only Jimbojo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. I'm Jimbojo. This is the Silly Shill Show, and we are the Shills. Hello! Thank you very much for coming, and a warm welcome to the secret underground shill base in the heart of a still active Pacific volcano. First off, I'm going to go straight over to Dick Dawson. Thank you very much for that sterling introduction. I'd like to say hello to you first. How are you doing, Dick?
Oh, doing great here, Jimbojo. Thanks. And yourself, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing grand, thank you. I just wanted to know if you've got anything coming in the sort of the next week or two that you wanted to tell people about before I go on to the next person.
Well, I just got the new show on World Model Feud out, midweek update with Dick Dawson, and that came out really good. And the
Excellent.
game show's final reboot should be done in about a week. And then I also have a little sort of talk show like variety show coming up as well. So lots to cover. Watch that space.
Oh man, that's brilliant. I shall look forward to seeing all of that stuff. Right, next on the list we've got Sarcastic Barman. How are you doing, sir? How's the pub trade going?
Hello. I'm good, thank you, Mr. Jim. How are you doing? Oh,
Just me that's blocked. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you
Okay,
can? Brilliant. Sorry, I thought we got lost. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Have you got anything out at the moment that's just come out or just coming out that you want to let people know, or people you want to shout out?
I've just had part 1 of my 5 scientific facts about evolution came out, and part 2 will be out Wednesday. That was a fucking shitstorm of craziness.
Oh, yeah. Good video, though, mate. Really enjoyed that one.
Thank you very much. Part 2 actually gets a bit more sciencey because they start going on about chromosomes and stuff. So, but I still recommend a new one. Because the guy's a fucking nutter. Well, or the woman's a nutter. I'm not sure. It's a computer voice. I never know what they are.
Well, quite probably isn't that important. I don't think you can offend them. But yeah, I've seen I saw the first one. Thought that was really good, mate. So yeah, I look forward to seeing the second one. I'm going to move on to Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. How are you doing, sir? Oi, oi,
Oi, fucking oi!
oi, oi!
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm wicked, man. I'm wicked.
So what have you got out? I've seen a couple of new bits recently. What else have you got coming?
Well, the other morning I was awake early and I went on to one of Jose's live debates he does at 6 a.m. and I just missed sort of the main debate, but there was me, Sean, and a few others chatting about people, and Brain Dead Warrior was in the chat.
No way.
He got triggered that I kept calling him Brain Dead Warrior, so I made a fucking video.
Nice.
Brilliant
stuff.
And he wants to debate me as well.
Oh,
That'd
does
be
he?
Funny.
Well, yeah, it's also hilarious when he thinks what he's doing is debating, isn't it? All right, that's brilliant news, man. I'm going to look forward to that hugely because he's just such a muppet, isn't he? Right, DeadKennedyInSpace, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty great, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty great as well, thank you. Have you you've had anything out this week? Well, I mean, I know you have. I've seen it, but I just wondered if you wanted to tell anyone about the stuff you've had out recently and what might be coming out next.
Yeah, just came out with a video that and the conspiracy. I think I saw him in the chat. He should check out because it's about the Flat Earth groupthink that happened recently on his channel.
Oh yeah.
And I've also got a 2,000 subscriber special coming very soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a hell of a journey. And sorry, I had one other thing I want to mention. Now I just have to remember what it was. I got lost.
Sorry, mate. I interrupted you.
That's about it. The 2K celebration. Oh, and I'm also probably going to do a live stream coming up pretty soon. That's basically just an open casting call for flat earthers to debate me, because I can't get one to agree to a debate, and it's getting kind of pathetic.
I know they are chickening out an awful lot these days. It's like they know. It's like they know. Right, I think last person on the list who isn't me is Logical Troglodyte. How are you doing, sir?
Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás, eh?
Estoy buen, señor. Excelente. So, yeah, what's been going on in your world this week then, man?
Oh, just doing a little bit of stupid stomping, planning a few videos, still trying to herd cats, trying to get 5 other creators together for my Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh wow.
Geez.
You're a brave
planning
man.
a comments video with the Shills and a couple other guys. Going to be something dramatically different than what people seen before from other comment videos on other channels.
Sure.
And working on coordinating a live stream for the first time on my channel for my hopefully soon to be 500th subscriber thingy. So we're going to do that live.
Congratulations as well.
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to do that live. The estimable Jen Morgan is going to be on the panel.
Oh wow, brilliant! What a great guest.
Part of what we will be talking about in that 60 to 90 minutes will be a bit of a look at generational differences with the evolution of stupid becoming socially acceptable.
I thought that's a fascinating topic. I really am looking forward to that. Of course, because I get to speak to you, I've heard a few of these secret rumblings myself, but hearing more about it, yeah, I think that's going to be one to watch. So I think I've spoken to everyone. That just leaves me. This week I'm talking to, let's see, well, I've got David Emery coming up. He's a long-standing member of the community who quite a lot of people have probably heard of. C4, otherwise known as Jimmy Callanan, has said that he will get in contact and do an interview with me, but God knows how long that will take round to. And Kristen Frost Laserbeam, so I'm sure you all know. We've been getting in chat, so I think we're going to be sorting out an interview there as well.
I can't wait for that, man.
Oh yeah, right, because she's great.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. On top of that, there are even a couple of more slightly bigger names, and indeed, 1 or 2 of the Shills themselves will be coming on the show. So I've got loads of stuff coming out. I'm really looking forward to that. Right, it's going to be a few weeks till it's ready, mine. So just hold tight. Now, before we move on, I just want to let the audience know that we've got Laura, who will, as ever, be in the background reading all of your comments like Big Brother and checking out, making sure you're not being too naughty. But also, if you've got any questions or comments that you want to get through to the panel, want us to read out, then just at Laura, she'll get them to us. We'll read them out. Okay, so I think I'm going to pass back over to Dick Dawson again to introduce the first video, if that's okay.
Yeah. Oops. That is absolutely fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, first up we have Conspiracies by Hans. And I would introduce the video so you know what's coming, but let's face it, if you're watching our show and you already know Conspiracies by Hans, and you fucking know what's coming, so let's get right to it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Hans Wormhat, this is a video about them, the scariest beasts to ever come upon humanity on Earth. Who are they? Who's them? I told my traffic theory to an FTM invert, and judging by her reaction, I'm on the right track. You're talking crazy. You really think a group of people will conspire to do that? Who are they?
Can we stop there already? Sorry, already. It's just this one particular thing that's sort of bothering me. Is that sort of that reaction, which they think essentially is proving to them that they're right in the first place, right? I told this theory to a person, they got really angry and annoyed at me, and therefore I must be right, because they would get really angry and annoyed if I was right. And it's like, yeah, but they'd also get really angry and annoyed if you're wrong and you're kind of being a dick. So have you ever considered there's 2 possible reasons that this person now thinks you're kind of an asshole? Am I the only one who thinks this?
No, I definitely think he's a fucking bellend.
Yes, quite. I've never heard a man who's more of a bellend.
It's self-earned. He's literally complaining about why people complain about him. Well, look in the fucking mirror, buddy. Holy shit, man.
Right? Look, watch your own videos. Listen to the shit that you spout. It is toxic bollocks. With two sentences in, and already he's basically saying, yeah, if I've made someone furious and enraged at me, then I must be doing the right thing. You monster. Fuck you.
No, just
anyway,
makes
sorry,
you a
should we carry on?
for being thinking like
One, if I can interject just a voice of fairness and reason for a moment.
Of course.
To be fair, we use the same argument when we piss the flirts off and they troll our channels with stupid comments. But the difference is we have evidence and reason to back it up other than, I just pissed you off, therefore I'm right. No, we actually offer something more than that. So it's the same argument applied incorrectly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for injecting that note of reason. I was about to lose my shit on the first interruption of the program. I have to say this is one of my particular pet hates.
Can I just say something about Hans Wormhat here? Because I've done one of his videos before, and this time I'm noticing it. Hans Wormhat. Okay, let's use some flat Earth logic against them, shall we? I'm going to say that Hans Wormhat is a reference to Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, and that he is obviously some kind of what would you say? What do they call it? One of those like double agents against flat Earth. Because how do you listen to someone whose name is Wormhat?
Yeah, it can't be real. Surely it's supposed to be distracting. They're taking the piss out of you.
Right.
You know, it's like the way they put CIA in Patricia Steele.
I prefer arsehole, arsehat.
Indeed. Quite. Yeah. Right, should we hit play again on the video? Because, yeah, we're 8 seconds in and already we've broken down in rage.
Is what the invert shouted. But as crazy as it may seem, I already knew the reaction of I was right. Had I walked in and said flat Earth is stupid, I'd heard nothing but yes, yes, yes. If you confront inverts with truth, they blow up. So I'm sure to speak truth every morning. She told me he is going to stop coming early, so he doesn't have to hear me. I love workday mornings. I really look forward to them.
Well, what a fucking gentleman, right? What a fucking gentleman he is. I've basically created such a hostile environment for this human that they don't want to be around me, and therefore I'm on the right track. What a this is what I mean by monster. His viewpoint of morality and reason is so fucking perverted by his desire to be right in the first place that he stopped thinking about what he's doing.
And it's the way he labels people in like a very kind of cold and dismissive manner, you know? It's just
absolutely
no emotion, or just like they're not even human.
Yeah, dehumanizing them, exactly. Yeah. It's the they again. But then don't forget, I suppose, this video is supposed to be highlighting that. Look, let's see what he has to say.
Curious, and it's just so refreshing to read words written by normal human beings. When I was a teenager and severely brainwashed, I'd done what every normal human done on weekends, hang out with inverts. There were inverts that would sit in the McDonald's parking lot for hours just doing what invert do, but I didn't hang out with that crowd. There were other inverts that went downtown
just doing what inverts do,
driving 5 miles down one road, making a loop, then back again. Thank God I didn't hang out with that crowd either, but sitting in traffic today, I remember those pathetic inverts. They say humans are creatures of habit, but I think that's an inverted trait, and those same inverts that cruised that one street way back then are still doing it today. I honestly think inverts are paid and probably take turns driving up and down certain streets in town to give the illusion of a large population. This place isn't that big, and has very...
Whoa. Stop that, man. These inverts are paid to drive up and down the fucking town to make the place look busy. That's ridiculous, man. What? A job description. Yeah, your route today will contain mostly town centre driving. You're required to stop at a few stops, one supermarket, and please make sure you do a coffee shop and 2 fucking fast food outlets.
Yeah, you're supposed to be seen, please. Please make sure that you make a bit of a fuss at one of them so that people notice that you're there, all right?
Oh, fucking hell, man. Is he for real? If that is a job, I'd like it. That's fucking easy.
Absolutely.
Any monkey could do that.
Right, let's hit play again.
Yeah.
Here.
Crack on,
There's
then.
a McDonald's near my home. I've done the plumbing on and know every inch of that place. It is constantly packed with people all day and every day, but gets only 1 delivery truck per week on Thursday nights. Possible. I ran drain lines down in their cooler, been in their freezer, and they're not...
Yeah.
Is he seriously taking out a fucking Mackie D's delivery truck?
He is.
You know,
what he's saying is they get one delivery a week, and you couldn't possibly get that many burgers in the back of a van.
This fucking weirdo is staking out a delivery truck, right, for Mackie D's. Yet at the start of this comment, if you remember, he actually says, "Oh, it's refreshing to read a comment from a normal person."
Yeah, quite. You make an excellent point, sir. I mean, the thing that blows me, right, is basically what this guy is saying, that somehow this lorry is coming in and it's not being able. It's like it's impossible for it to be bringing enough food to service to McDonald's, or is he saying that it's bringing them in the back? So they're bringing some more inverts in the back of the McDonald's lorry, mate, and they all come out of the front of the McDonald's like a fucking clown car.
I think his point to back his claims that these inverts are paid to, make the place look busy, is that they're just in there to make it look busy. So it's always busy, and there's no way you can just one truck, service that restaurant if it's that supposedly busy. That's how he's trying to his angle, I think.
Well, yeah, he's saying they're putting in cells or whatever what's he calling them, incels? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're just hanging out.
No, inverts. Sorry, he's calling them inverts. Sorry, that's something else.
Inverts.
I don't even know. They make up these bloody words, right? The point is, every human being he sees on the street is an F2M or an M2F anyway. So how can he be singling out McDonald's as the place where they're all hanging out when the next thing he does is go around the corner and go, "Oh, there's another one." Look, it's fucking insane. This is a man who thinks his own fucking family, his parents are both one to the other. Like as if you could make that work, for God's sake.
My satanic parents, he says.
Yeah, that's it. Satanic invert parents is what he's saying.
Yeah, well, his argument here is that there's not really 7 billion people on the planet. That the overpopulation is just a hoax.
I wonder if he's ever been to like Johannesburg or Sao Paulo, where places where they have shanty towns, and there are heaving masses of people all struggling to get past one another, walking through overwhelming detritus and mess and complexity. Like, we're definitely an overcrowded planet. I've seen the damage it causes firsthand. There may be plenty of space, but there's not enough to go round. That whole argument is easily disprovable. You don't have to trust your government. You can find out for your fucking self. Buy a plane ticket and leave your state.
Yeah. Isn't this the bell end, actually, that thinks that the United States of America is half the size it actually is?
I wasn't aware. Actually, yeah, Conspiracies by Hands. Yes, I think it is the same guy.
Yeah.
God. They all blend into one in the end. They're all just one big, massive, collective hive mind moron for me. They're like the Borg of stupid. They all just like spout the same shit.
One massive fossilized brain cell.
Yeah, indeed. Just jittering away there. Right, let's hit play. Oh, sorry. Was that Dead Kennedy?
Yeah, I want to say something really quickly about Hans. God, Hans pisses me off. I've only done one video of his, but I hate him so much. One thing he's doing right now that pisses me off is every video he makes who is in on the conspiracy in his world that much larger. And his conspiracy has reached critical mass now where there's more people in on it than being fooled. That is a fucking ridiculous conspiracy, my man. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It needs to be the 1% controlling the 99%, not the other way around.
Yeah, what's the fucking point otherwise, right? I don't know what it is. He just feels like an oppressed man and he wants to blame the whole world, but he hasn't quite found a way to accept that that's what he's up to. So he's created this, as you say, this ever greater, ever more wobbling edifice of unreliable bits of fact that he's put together into this giant heaving conspiracy. And as you say, it seems to involve more people than not. I mean, how can you possibly not take a step back from that and go, wait, if everyone's in on it, how can it even be a conspiracy? No one's conspiring. I've just been left out of the loop is all it is.
That's starting to be what it looks like. It's just he doesn't understand how the world works. Imagine that. Because
no doubt.
Anything, it's just occurred to me that Hans has never even reached that phase in life where you're a teenager and you get a shitty job at McDonald's. Because I've worked those jobs. I've worked a lot of those jobs, as a matter of fact. And to say that they can't possibly deliver enough food to feed X many people in a week is retarded. I'm sorry to use that word, but here's the thing. They can really tightly pack this stuff. One box of fries is enough to feed probably, I don't know, 200 people. It's very, very portioned up stuff, and it all comes in a goddamn 18-wheeler. It's absolutely enough to feed people for a month. I would know because I fed it to them.
Absolutely. I mean, exactly how much space does he think a beef burger takes up anyway? They stack rather conveniently, just like everything from McDonald's. It's all stackable. It's all foldable. All the paperwork and the little sort of things come flat folded and get packed out. The only, I would say, the least space efficient thing in the entire setup is the buns, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have to be given a bit of space because they can't be crushed. That's about it.
Yeah, that's literally it. Right. Well, excellent point. Well made. Logtrug, did you have anything to add before I get Dick Dawson to hit play again?
Oh. Well, a 53-foot semi-trailer holds a hell of a lot of freight. You know, on average, a semi-trailer weight empty with full tanks of fuel is 30,000 to 36,000 pounds. Fully loaded with freight, they're going to weigh about 80,000 pounds. So we got about 40-ish thousand pounds worth of food. That's a lot of freaking burgers and fries.
40,000 pounds in English money. That's something along the lines of 8 tons or so. I mean, that is an extraordinary amount of nosh. If the average human eats, well, I don't know, not quite a kilogram of the stuff in a given day or around a kilogram, you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of meals for people that would last them all through a day. But a single semi, as you put it, is an enormous space to be putting stuff into. Like our rigs in this country, we're sort of slightly shorter because of the roads. We drive 40-foot ones. A standard shipping container is a 40-foot long, and that can take enough food to feed an entire African village that's starving, because that's what they actually do with them. Now, Jutmonk, you tried to cut in there very briefly. Did you want to say something, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but like, aren't like the buns delivered separately to the meat anyway?
Not sure. I honestly don't know. I've not worked at McDonald's yet.
I know some companies are that, you know, they might come in the same trucks, but they would be sourced, you know, because you might want to freeze a truck for some of it if it's frozen. You know, it depends on the fast food store.
Well, indeed, I was thinking you can't have it all in one frozen lorry. Yeah. It sounds like he hasn't even really staked the place out. He just saw a lorry one time, and that was the basis of his mad fucking fantasy.
Well, funny you should say that. Someone commented on this video saying, loved, so they obviously fell out of this video, but loved this video. Has the moon disappeared yet? And this fucking bellend replied, myself and a few others hadn't seen it for a week or so, but someone I knew saw it recently.
For God's sake. I mean,
there's an actual comment on this video.
It takes 11 seconds to find out how long the moon... Right. No, we haven't got time in the universe to go through all of that again. Let's hit play on the video again.
Not that big. I wish I had the time to spend sitting on a busy street one day, and I guarantee you I'd see the same cars with the same inverts driving in their inverted circles. This actually, seeing the same cars, of course it reminds me of Truman Show, but in just my own life,
fucking Truman Show again. Fucking Truman Show again. What the
Everyone take a drink.
How many damn red Fords or blue Chevys does he think's on the damn road?
It's the Truman Show reference that's killing me, Trog. I'm sorry. I mean, you're absolutely right? Your point is well made, that he's basically seen a car in a color and not being very bright. It hasn't occurred to him that there are lots of cars in the same color. I've actually owned several of the same car in the same color. Like, that's just one person. Hasn't twigged. And you're absolutely right. But my God, is the man fucking insane? He's missing the most obvious goddamn detail. Right. I'm exploding. Somebody save me. Someone say something sensible and logical and reasonable.
Oh, well, that's not me.
When you're delusional, movies seem to be real. Keyword, seem.
Seem. Thank you. You've brought me back down to a level. I was getting too excited by this nonsense. Mr. Dick Dawson, would you mind hitting play on the video again? Oh, Dead Kennedy. Sure. Sorry, man.
To kind of piggyback on what Logical said. So is this the modern day equivalent of that movie with the train coming toward the camera and people went running out of the theater in the early 90s?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's an excellent reference. Over 100 years old. Brilliant. I like it. Right. Yeah, let's move on. Sorry.
I drive up the West Coast sometimes, and you'll see the same cars throughout the day because you'll stop somewhere, so like a slow car will pass you, and then you'll pass them again, and then you'll stop again. You see the same car throughout the whole day. There's not that many cars traveling around.
Sorry. Just really quickly, one tiny little stop, right? There are 1.4 cars for every driver in America, which is a total of about 150 to 200 million cars, because some are still running but aren't legal. But it's in that ballpark. There are a fuck ton, a metric and imperial fuck ton of cars just in the USA, right? My country has about 40 million cars. There are actually 1.8 cars for every driver in my country. That's more than most people have children. Is he fucking mental? There are more cars in the world than there are fucking microwaves. It's like the most common machine that you see. Every continent's got them. Every country's got them. Every fucker above the age of 21's driven one of them. What is he talking about? Has he heard of mass production? Has he heard of Ford, a company who have made millions of the same car, let alone the millions upon millions of the different cars? Right, before I waste an entire show shouting until my microphone explodes, should we hit play again, or does anyone else want to add anything?
I think you covered that quite well.
What do you think?
Well, and the little blurb he's got on the screen, that's a little take on can't see the forest for the trees, right? Well, you also can't see the truth if you never leave your mommy's basement. All you see is four walls.
Uh-huh.
Let's remember, Hans is the man who thinks that gorillas are actually people in suits. So obviously he doesn't need someone to me.
Sorry, I missed that bit. Did you just actually say he thinks gorillas are people in suits?
Yes.
He does.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that video. Fuck my life.
He also thinks zebras are fake.
Zebras are fake?
Yeah.
Does someone think he just fucking painted a horse?
Yes, literally someone paints them.
No! I don't believe you. It can't be fucking true.
I'm fucking sure it's him. I'm going to find it, man.
Yeah, you have to. We'll have to get that up.
But...
Yeah. No, I want to see that video. You show me at some point. That'd be amazing.
You've seen it?
Yeah, man, I saw
Someone
that.
say they've seen it.
Yeah, that was me. My son and I watched that, and my son's a nature freak, and he was screaming at the screen, man. It was hilarious.
Actually, Thomas, didn't I suggest it to you for Felix?
That's exactly where I got it from. Was from you, Jutmonk.
Yeah, that's right.
My God,
fucking insane, isn't it?
I've just
painted fucking horses.
I've just found a BBC. I'm not even fucking checking. A BBC News article that the Egypt Zoo, Cairo Zoo, had to deny that they were painting donkeys to look like fucking zebras.
Did you hear about the Chinese zoo where they had a fucking great big dog that they pretended was a lion? It's like a kind of a long-haired mastiff or something, and it sort of looks quite convincing if you've never actually seen a lion before. If anyone's only ever told you what a lion looks like, you might go, yeah, that looks like a lion. Big mane, big paws, sort of scrunched up face.
I'll tell you the weirdest thing in a zoo. In Denmark, for 1 year, they put a man and a woman naked in an enclosure.
Well, that's Denmark. They get up to all sorts of mad bollocks. If you just said any other country in the world, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? But are they not the country that invented Big Brother?
Yes. No, that's Holland.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they do that.
They're still pretty mad in Denmark.
No, they just put women in glass doors in a row in Holland.
Yeah, that's true. Just shine a red light or two above.
Yeah, should we crack on now?
Yeah, shall we?
I just want to quickly read out a comment from Jen Morgan. I really enjoyed this one. The massive ego this little boy owns is beyond belief.
Love it.
Gift from his parents, I expect.
Oof.
Yeah. Shall we?
Your face, but your eyes and heart are so full of lies you can't see it. How do you think they get together so many ugly-looking people to do a flash mob? No human being would be
Sorry,
a part of this
one,
nonsense.
fuck you. Also, that guy in the orange t-shirt's gorgeous, clearly. Look at him. Secondly, is that the best argument that they're all trannies is that they're all ugly? Oh, he's ugly. He must be a fucking F2M. Really? Is that how that works? Am I the only one who thinks that is mental?
guy is a fucking wanker, to be honest with you. You know,
he is, isn't he?
Seriously, right? He's a
just
complete
a dick.
wankstein. He's so fucking rude.
Yeah, like there's not 10 people that would get
people
together and say, let's have some fun. No, that'd never happen.
I know, right?
Quite mad, isn't it?
You know,
actually, Sarcastic Barman, we haven't heard from you much so far today. I wondered if you've got any views, sort of, just in general at the point.
Oh, I had some internet difficulties. I have returned now. But
I see.
Look at that picture he's got there. And he's saying they're all ugly. Now, to be fair, there's a couple of women there that I wouldn't moan if I woke up and they were in my bed.
Quite.
Do it that way is the very polite way of putting that. But
indeed,
fucking hell, he's either got really high standards or is a virgin and only watches fucking porn.
Sorry.
All women are going to look perfect, because not all women look perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect fucking woman unless you've had 15 fucking pints.
I think Babes is absolutely perfect. Bite me.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, well said, man. What a romantic old soul.
No, you
and let's not pretend that men are exactly perfect either, for that matter. I mean, when you say that, you know, no woman is perfect, what you mean, I'm sure, is no human is perfect.
Yeah, I got it a bit wrong there, but you know what I meant.
Just phrasing. Just phrasing. I know what you're after. It's all right. We won't put you in the stocks just yet.
Sorry, Laura.
Right, should we hit play again?
Yes.
Drunk
cool.
Or something like that. Subverted. Yay. The trannies are one big gaslighting operation. It's them. Going back to the original comment, they always get mad. Who are they? My mom, my satanic mom, says that whenever I start talking about conspiracy, and I say, well, they, you know, you can just say anything. Well, when they spray the skies, and they'll just stop. They'll say, "Who's they? Who's they?" Oh, you know what they are.
Hold on. Spray the skies? I'm not letting that fucking go. There's not a chance in hell. Spray the skies?
Well, I hate when they put those sneaky, lazy little references in.
Yeah, you're not pulling your chemtrail bullshit on me. So, you know, fuck that. Let's keep going.
Well, this is how they sell it, isn't it? These little digs. These little, don't forget your 9/11.
Yeah, it's just everything. They're fucking paranoid. It must be fucking shit being there. They're so fucking paranoid and on edge about everything. Life must be a fucking nightmare.
Really, for them means everyone who isn't them. I mean, which is kind of what the word means, actually. So
that's
maybe it's all right.
Punishment for being fucking twats.
Quite. Right, let's hit play. We got to get through this. Everyone here tonight is getting sort of upset by this. We're all a bit triggered today because this man's talking such toxic shit. Like, let's see some more of it.
An asshat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Labeling people is bang out of order.
Used as a singular personal pronoun for somebody who does not identify as either male or female.
That's one of the definitions. Read the others that are right in front of your face.
Are they, them, theirs. This is from Etsy, another orange company. Don't be boneheaded. Respect my pronouns. Fake dinosaurs. Make transphobia extinct. Fake outer space stuff. Down with
fake dinosaurs.
Oh.
Yeah, but
dinosaurs are not fake.
There's one particular one, just quickly, I really want to point out, okay? When he said fake dinosaurs, and, you know, he's talking about... When he said fake space and pointed at a meteor, rocks do fall out of the fucking sky, all right? No matter where you think they come from, that fucking happens, all right? There
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Right? I've held a fucking meteorite in my hand. It's like basically the way it was made almost entirely of metal, which kind of threw me at first. But of course,
yeah, they're really heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, shiny and dull. Like... Yeah.
And one's in the Natural History Museum. You wouldn't want that falling on your fucking house.
Fucking right. Right, sorry, I'm done. It was just that one little thing.
Over it, but he actually says a transgender dinosaur.
What?
I don't know if he said that yet or whether he spoke over it, but he does say transgender fucking dinosaur colours at the top fucking...
Well, the top right one, the rainbow dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God's sake. All right, let's see if he says it or if I did talk over him.
So his argument is that sexual dimorphism is evidence of the trans movement, because that's just, you know, a thing in reality. Males tending to have brighter colors.
Yeah.
It's called peacocking.
Indeed.
Yeah.
throughout the animal kingdom is extremely common. In fact, humans used to do it more. Like it used to be a few hundred years ago that the blokes would be wearing the doublets and the ruffs and the feather in their hat and whatever, and the women would all have the same dresses. Even we were like that not so very long ago. It's only now sort of things have slightly changed as cultures evolved.
Well, now it's changed back again now. Some of them Essex
can
boys...
I bring up something?
Yeah. Go on, please.
Yeah, we'll bring up something sciencey. The West African frogs, which everyone probably heard of from fucking Jurassic Park. Yeah. The ones that after they have sex will change fucking sex.
Yeah.
Sequential hermaphrodites, because they have both sex organs,
Indeed.
but change depending on the period of their life that they're fucking in.
Indeed.
So for
I've heard that.
Natural, it's one of the most natural fucking things there are, that things change sex. It's just we have the medical technology to do it.
Indeed.
Wait.
Right, let's hit play.
I thought that was happening because of the chemicals in the water.
Oh yeah, they're turning the frogs gay. Of course. It's all of it.
No.
The chemicals in the sky, the chemicals in the water. It's all the trannies. It's all of it, mate. They're all turning the frogs gay. What a nightmare!
Out to get you.
Oh.
In the words of Steaming Cup of Reason, big bag of amphibian shit.
Quite. Right, let's hit play.
Yes. And this dino is in the trans colors. You didn't notice.
Oh, God. There you go.
This is them. Hey, he, his. Give me a break with boobs. Huge shoulders. She, her. They, there. Purple. Here's a song by...
What the fuck does that matter?
He doesn't like purple hair.
I mean, no, so he's saying on the one hand, oh, look, this one says she wants to be called he, but she's got boobs. And this one says he wants to be called she, but he's really big and strong. This one, purple.
Have we ever seen a picture of Hans?
I don't think so.
No, Hans never appears on camera.
I wonder why.
Right.
Yeah, because he knows someone would fucking give him a transvestigation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about punch a fascist, but I would possibly be happy to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about the purple thing? I know why that's significant to him.
Ah, please do.
Well, in the he kept getting triggered every time he saw the color orange, because apparently somehow orange is associated with 33, which is of course associated with they.
Yeah.
And I think purple must have a similar meaning in there somehow.
I see. There's a color chart of a hierarchy of the lizard people or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for enlightening us on it. Although, you know, technically now a bit of my brain that could have been used for real knowledge has been wasted by that. So I don't know if I should thank you or not.
I hate that my particular talent seems to be the ability to get into these idiots' heads.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Just please be careful in there. It's a hell of a mess. There's sharp stuff everywhere. It's kind of a confused nightmare.
It really is.
Never go into a float's head like this without a friend and a flashlight.
Exactly. Or indeed, as we say on this side of the pond, a torch, for anyone who's wondering. Sorry, that was just a conversation we had before the show. Let's hit play again, shall we?
Tim McGraw. Who are they? Democrat, Republican. Both sides. We'll just read this part because it says it all, basically. Who are they? Yeah, you know what they say. Who are they? Someone I gotta pay. Who are they? They're probably living in L.A.
Tim McGraw, the country singer, is somehow in control of the world, too? Is that where he's, like, what the fuck does this lyric have anything to do with anything? This guy's moron.
I agree. I want to know how Tim McGraw knows. Like, how is he on the secret?
Inside? Right?
Is he like a top mason?
Why is he some special top level dude who gets to throw hints in his songs versus other people, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
what
man.
the fuck?
Because he's a celebrity. All celebrities have to go to the special school where they get taught all this shit. So then they can put all these little hints in.
Yeah.
So over the years, they slowly disseminate this information. And then when people question it, they can say, oh, no, you're just thinking of it because we put it in all the music and things like that. But really, we want you to know. But we're not really.
You're right. Every actor must be in on it by definition. Every actor, before they do their first acting job, has to go to a special CIA debriefing where they say, okay, so now you're an actor. Your job is going to be to subtly imply in everything that you do that the world is round. Because that's what we've been doing for centuries in Union and now a part of the gang, right?
Well, I'm surprised that he hasn't done one on someone like Simon Cowell.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah, I bet there is actually a video out there about Simon Cowell, some conspiracy nut.
I think he's on one of David Icke's sort of things, isn't he? He's one of the lizard people.
Possibly. Perhaps we could
I've come across that.
Have a little look at that and maybe clip some out.
I tell you what, David Icke, he does 9-hour speeches to enraptured audiences who fucking hang on his every word. There is a lot of material there. We could definitely have a look at a bit of old Icke. This is a man who was a professional footballer and then football pundit who one day came out to the world and said that he was fucking Jesus, and somehow that didn't destroy his credibility, and now he's selling a story about how the Queen and all these famous people in the Bilderberg group are orchestrating the New World Order. They're lizard people and stuff.
That's right, absolutely, you got that bang on. But I mean, there's so much. I mean, he's into so much, it's unreal. You know, that the diversity of the conspiracies, he's fucking probably created half of them.
Yeah, quite. Well, look, we're running short on time for the first segment, and I want to get through the last of this video bit if we can. So can we hit play and push on a bit?
Can I make one quick comment?
Quickly, yeah.
He's obsessed with the Truman Show, right? That's one of his big things. If all actors are in on it, how can he then cling so religiously to one film made by they?
It's a good question. He loves the film. It must be true. Well, unless his whole argument is that they were trying to tell us and they thought we were so stupid we'd never realise, and only he has seen through it. Because, you know, special knowledge is a big deal for these people. He alone has seen this mockery they're making of us by showing it to our faces.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only excuse I can think of, and it comes up a lot with this sort of madman. I may be wrong, though. Look, let's hit play, shall we? I'm talking now.
One of my viewers has actually asked me to do something on these two for a long time. This is Sophie Tucker, the last name Tucker, sculpted neck, saying as a FTM, disgusting bulgy eye FTM, always in the black and white duality checkerboard. And they have a song, their famous song is called
Hold on a second here. Always in the black and white checkerboard. Well, that big crowd scene he showed us earlier didn't have everybody in the checkerboard, and yet half of them were supposedly of the sort that should have. He can't even keep his fucking story straight.
I think if you look at the picture in the top left, you'll see he's no longer in the checkerboard there.
Yeah, he's not in much.
No, but I mean, you can see him, but he's not wearing that shirt. The checkerboard's gone. That claim he's made, no, that's just some mad bollocks.
Yeah,
it's just fucking. It's just going around like off on different fucking avenues, and you know, it's not having any structure to the video. It's not really about a specific thing. It's just a bit of cut of comments, a bit of something about a traffic fucking conspiracy. Whatever that was. Oh, yeah, that was the people that had to drive around and pretend to make it busy. And to this, there's no structure to his video. It's just a load of bollocks that he's put on screen and then just said fucking absolute toilet about it. That just fucking tries to make... He's just like, I don't know what he's doing. He's fucked. He's fucked.
I'm genuinely at the point where I'm beginning to be concerned that we shouldn't be mocking him because he may just be mad, like straight up mad.
Jen Morgan's got a great comment.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Jen Morgan says, is this guy Russian Vid's lover or something?
Yeah, he just seems to have been learning from the same, well, I can't call it a school, kindergarten.
Well,
right, let's hear what he's got to say about this song this time then. It's the lyrics. The lyrics are always important. They're evil, but they're telling you the truth, see?
Nominated for a Grammy. I don't give a F about they. And here I thought this was... Play the freak, smooth out my body, gross. Because, yeah, that's a gross tranny. I'll just show one more lyric from this song. We got us, we got they, we got an army. I thought this article was hilarious. If you can respect my dog's pronouns, you should be able to respect mine. Look at this beast.
He is just an asshole, isn't he? He's just a dick.
What a fucking piece of work this guy is, man. Like, You know, seriously, if there is ever a need for filler for a hole in your backyard because you just got this hole that needs to be filled, use this guy, because that's the only good I could ever see him coming to be.
Thomas, I wouldn't say that. He'd help support, say, you know, he'd be good at supporting a flyover, say, over a motorway.
yeah.
There you
are
go.
Plenty of foundations he could be put into. Right.
But at the same time, at the same time, if there weren't weirdos like this, we wouldn't really appreciate how normal we really are.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You're not normal.
I've told you.
Shall we?
Yes. Sorry, I
was
should
going
have
to point
said.
out, because here they go that their dog is basically a tranny. It's a dainty dog, but they claim it's a he. These intersex conditions are all over people's pets, too. That's probably why so many pets get misgendered. You can probably just feel that a dog is a female, but then they're like, oh, no, it's a boy. These intersex conditions happen in animals, too.
No.
Hold on.
This article is hilarious.
You could just look at his fucking bollocks.
Well, this is the thing. He just used a word there that's really important. He intersex, right? An intersex condition is a very specific medical thing, right? He is using it interchangeably with a sort of cross-gender identity, rather than what he's saying is sort of, you know, you're mixing up identities, or you're calling your dog a she when it's actually a he, or whatever. And it being intersex is a very specific medical condition where you literally do have partially formed both halves of the genitalia of either sex.
Yeah,
it's sort of,
I've heard of that.
it's a little bit like, say, hermaphroditism or something like that. It's a very rare condition ultimately. But that if you are in any way interested in the biological sort of basis of this, I would recommend that you go up and look up what intersex conditions are, so you can then differentiate it from the shit that he's talking on the other side. Anyway, let's move on.
Granny complaining that people respect their dog's pronouns more than this thing. So when you're talking about conspiracy and you talk about they, them, and somebody asks you, who's they? You can show them this. This is they. This is who they are. They are the trannies. I kind of thought of this. They might be giants. I think of the expression standing on the shoulders of giants. In the Bible, there were giants.
There it is.
People. They probably were.
It's just that, really. As soon as I heard him say the Bible. Right, we were just waiting for it.
As soon as I heard him say giants, I was waiting for the Bible to come in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, same.
Can we just put Hans and Ronda Rousey in the same room together and see what the fuck happens?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah,
Because
man,
I wouldn't dare call her a man or say you look like a man. I'd take her for dinner and buy her flowers and be really nice to her, but not because she looks like she could tear me in half. Absolutely gorgeous, but still.
He's just fucked in the head, man. What the fuck is he talking about?
I'm starting to think he is genuinely like schizophrenic, essentially.
It's almost
beyond
twisted.
Right?
I honestly think he is some degree of paranoid schizophrenic, because if I remember correctly, that's mostly characterized by feeling that everyone's out to get you. And all of his videos are just, sorry, I hit my mic, are just expanding the web of they that he's created. Every video makes it million people until it's literally us or they versus him.
Yeah.
But I suspect, as I mentioned, that he's made a lot of them conspiracies up. They're his.
Indeed, I think he just now essentially flights of fancy almost. What will happen is he has a narrative in his mind already about this big overarching conspiracy. And in his mind, everyone he sees is sort of looking at him behind his back and is part of this conspiracy, is engaged in everything he sees happening that is a pattern. Like he sees the same thing happen once a week and suddenly it's a pattern. And because it's a pattern, it's part of the pattern. And the pattern is them. And them is fucking literally everyone else. And everyone else is a tranny. I mean, it's to the point where it's just sad, you know, it's achingly tragic how lost this man's sense of reality is. They might be giants. Think about standing on the shoulders of giants. It's like a stream of consciousness. It's not, you know, from one moment to the next, he doesn't know what the shit is going to be falling from his own lips.
And that's what I was saying about his video has no structure. It's just this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may interject a moment.
Yeah, please do.
As far as whether or not he has any mental illness, without hours and hours of testing, I can't say. I would consider him a strong candidate for the time involved in that testing. Now, I will be the first to say that mental illness is got a bum rap in society. It's a medically treatable illness. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Many, many people have some form of it, but it does not absolve you from bad behavior and saying stupid shit in public.
It was still you that said it.
Do you know, I was actually thinking a little while back that he shouldn't be allowed to make this video. It shouldn't be on the internet.
This must get very close to being on some kind of... Yeah. Because all it is no...
Borderline.
It's not even borderline. As soon as he used the term tranny, he stepped over the terms of service of YouTube.
Yeah.
That's a pejorative insult. I mean, he is intention. He called one person monster. Look at that. He called it that and it rather than, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't use they or them. He said that an object.
We do right. Perhaps we should report this video after.
Well, do you know what? The only concern I have is, have you seen how many conspiracy by Hans channels there are? There are about 7. Clearly, that doesn't concern him.
I mentioned in the chat earlier that channel number 5 had just been taken down for breaking YouTube rules and stuff like that, but he still had channel 2, 3, 6, and 7 were up or something daft like that.
Fucking hell. How many followers has he got? I forgot.
He's a whack-a-mole. He's had 7 or 8 altogether.
Fucking hell.
Well, subs.
I think he's got more than 7 or 8 subs, unfortunately. He doesn't deserve 7 or 8 subs, let alone how many.
And then his channels sub to one another.
Right, let's hit play, because actually, as time goes on, I'm concerned that we won't get enough time to talk to our guest and look at the other video. So let's push on. We're nearly there now.
Cool.
They might be giants. They live, we sleep. They, so they live. They, the singular gender neutral pronoun. Sick, man. That is sick. They live. And we'll end with a Bible verse containing they, and these are the people that killed Jesus. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sure that you've run into some tranny gatekeepers, some Satanists, that when you talk conspiracy, who's they? Well, it's the trannies. God bless everybody.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll let everyone have their final thoughts.
Yeah, I did a search earlier today, obviously knowing we were going to do this video. So I used Bible Online, so you can search through the text and stuff like that and find individual words or phrases. So let's put they in. It comes up that many times, the search engine refused to give results because the word was too common.
Yeah.
So unless 90% of the Bible are transvestites, then
The problem is, he does seem to genuinely think that literally all of they, right? They is everyone else. It's literally everyone else. This is where the conspiracy seems to be. He's putting these videos out where he says every single other person is in on it. I mean, DeadKennedyInSpace, you put it best earlier, like almost at the beginning of the video, where you basically said that, like, at this point, his conspiracy involves more people than not, and it has just become completely untenable in any logical sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick once round, go through the list, as it were, have a final thought, and then we'll move on to the next bit. So let's start with Sarcastic Barman. You were saying something. Is there anything more you wanted to add?
Well, just going to say that he's roughly saying that the 1% of the population that, as we know of and believe, are transgender and are that way, are controlling everything else or trying to control everything else and are behind everything else and are driving around and filling up all the McDonald's because no one else is. Just sounds fucking ridiculous, really. And just points out, his Conspiracy by Hans channel number 7 has 12,000 fucking subscribers.
Yeah, it's scary. It's terrifying. Look, Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, what do you think at this point?
Well, I mean, I mean, the guy is clearly, you know, he's seriously paranoid. I mean, I just wonder who the fuck is he doing his videos for? Because surely if he's this paranoid, everyone's out to get him.
Yeah. I'm surprised you think there's anyone who is woke at all, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy.
yeah, and he's a vile, toxic human being, and that shouldn't be on the fucking internet. I'm sorry.
I know what you mean. Like, I always feel bad that we've given him, in any sense, a kind of platform here at all, even though we've been shouting at him the whole time. It is just breathtakingly awful stuff. Look, how about DeadKennedyInSpace? What have you got to say about this?
You know, I hate to sound like a woo peddler, but every time I watch a video by Hans, I just feel sad. The man gives off a sad energy. And
yeah, man.
I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. If there are any flat earthers who watch this show, is this really what you want your life to be? Just think about it a little.
Right. Okay, so Dick Dawson, what do you think at this point, man?
I'm not sure that I even hear conviction in the man's voice. I think we're dealing with somebody who's probably just doing this because they know it's an angle to get people going. It drives the analytics because you get lots of chat in your chatter and stuff. And as such, it gets you noticed and maybe you can monetize up a bit. I'm not 100% here, but, you know, whether or not I'm right in that assessment, the true fact of the matter is he's human filth and needs to be wiped off the face of the earth.
That's an excellent point. Well made, sir. Let's see. Last on the list is Logical Troglodyte. What do you think?
Well, you know, when I first met Hans, back when I first started my channel, and I, you know, found his fake animal thing, I thought it was really funny, haha. So I went and debunked one of them. But the more I have watched him over the last few months, the more I actually kind of feel sorry for the guy. If he really believes the things he's saying, that's a very scary, frightening world that he lives in between his ears. And I will disagree with Dick here a moment that, you know, the lack of conviction in his voice. I've worked with schizophrenics before in my professional life. A flat affect and a flat voice is indicative of schizophrenia.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. I didn't know that. Well, look, you've brought a nice sense of logic and reason and fact to our little debacle after all of that shouting. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to pass straight on to Dick Dawson, because you've got the next segment to introduce, haven't you?
Yes, I do indeed. Yes, I do indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, up next we have the one and only Babes Troglodyte with our weekly Idiot Report. So, Babes, take it away, honey.
Welcome to the Shills Halftime Idiot Report. Babes Troglodyte reporting. Tonight's story. After 2 seconds of research, it was discovered that a call for an uprising, and you'll remember him from the Shills midweek broadcast, he has multiple active channels on YouTube, using them like whack-a-mole in case one of them gets shut down. While sifting through his sewer of stupidity, fear, and hate, I've found this little gem on one of his channels. Let's have a look. Wait a sec. In numerology, when used correctly, one must use the original language, not English, to, quote, find the hidden meaning. But let's see what you have anyway. That's one hell of an equation. Wait a minute. Where did the number 18 come from? Wait a minute, Uprising. You're pulling a bait and switch. This isn't how numerology works. Finding a biblical passage to fit your agenda is something different altogether. So the word bondage doesn't equal 18 in numerology. It actually equals the number 3 in English. So your math is automatically incorrect. No, it doesn't fit perfectly, unless you're changing the rules of the game to fit your narrative. Wait, where'd you get the number 9 from? Oh, I see. Again, numerology doesn't work that way, Uprising. No. Apparently, the phrase fits perfectly is being finangled here. Wait, what? You're equating Jesus with Lucifer? I thought you were a Christian. Isn't this idea contradictory to what you espouse as a fundamentalist Christian? You seem to be saying that modern Christians are actually Satan worshippers. Hang on. I thought the cross is the symbol of salvation for Christians. And now you're saying it's the mark of the beast? What the hell? Make up your mind. Are you a Christian or an occultist? How about no? We only share this video for the purpose of debunking. Are you naturally an idiot, or did you aspire to it? Either way, you definitely qualify for the Idiot Report. Now, back to you, Tom, and the Shills Live Show.
A few questions, basically just who you are, what you're doing on YouTube, so people can find out for themselves what you're all about. With that in mind, I should say, I wonder, could you give people a little bit of a clue as to who you are and what you get up to on your channel?
Yeah, I go by Zpostate, of course, on YouTube, and I am mainly an atheist channel. I also touch a lot on politics, and I definitely do a lot with conspiracy theories like flat Earth and sovereign citizens recently, and all kinds of messed up nonsense.
Excellent. I mean, now, is there anywhere outside of YouTube that you also do anything else? I mean, some people have Discords or Twitters or Twitch streaming, anything like that?
Not at the moment. I am looking into the Twitch thing, but I still haven't figured that one out. I'm new to all this stuff, so.
Well, now, we've been watching you back at the Shills secret base for a few weeks now. Obviously, I've met you before, because when I first started seeing your sort of stuff, I invited you to come on my show. And then, of course, I sort of met you at various other points. And we've basically been really impressed. We've watched you go from, I think I joined you on something like 30 or 40 subscribers, and then watched you go up to, what, over 200 in a matter of a couple of weeks. It was explosive watching you get there. Like, we're all fantastically impressed with it. I wanted to know, I've got the boring question, see. I'll pass it on to the rest of the gang in a minute, and they can all sort of ask their own, individual ones. But all I really want to know is, what are the projects that you've got coming up, obviously? What's the stuff you've done recently you want to tell people about? And where do you see yourself going? Basic interview questions. But just before you sort of do that, I want to ask about the charity thing that you were doing. And I wonder if you had any updates on your, it was your Syrian ration challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The Syrian refugee ration challenge went pretty well. I actually had to put my part of it to the side because life got in the way. I'm actually going to be updating that very soon, but for the fundraising part, we made nearly $300 in fundraising, which is enough to feed, what was it? It was like 4 Syrian refugees for an entire year. So it actually wound up pretty great.
Oh, nice. That's really fantastic stuff. Let's see. Now, have you got any other projects at the moment you want to tell people about?
I'm still passing around a few ideas for videos that I want to start doing. I have my traditional Catholicism series that I've been touching on. I've got 2 parts of that out, and I'm going to do a couple more. But for the conspiracy theory, weirdo sides, if you guys have never heard of the Arcturians, that one's coming up. That's a wild one.
Brilliant.
And yeah, that one's way out there. And then also the rope hypothesis. I don't know if anyone's heard of that one, but it's definitely teaching me a lot about physics and quantum physics. This is an old hypothesis, but it's popping up on Facebook again where people it's a
Okay.
disbelief in gravity thing. So.
Oh, another one of those. Marvelous. The rope hypothesis. Oh, I should make sure to go out and have a look for that, though. So what I'll do is I'll pass it around the table once, let everyone have a couple of questions if they want any. Let's start with Sarcastic Barman. What about you? Did you have any questions or comments you wanted to raise with Zpostate?
Oh, I've got to say, love the content on your channel, Zpostate, but got to ask a silly little question. What's the stupidest thing you've ever found on YouTube that you've thought about debunking or got lined up to debunk that you thought, that's just too fucking stupid. No one can actually believe that. Did that question
Holy moly. There are so many to choose from. I really just, wait for this rope hypothesis thing. I think it might be one of the dumbest, just most intellectually dishonest things I've ever heard of. Or what I did the last video, the sovereign citizens, which with my political bent really just, it grinds at me. And I can't believe people actually believe this crap. But amongst many others.
Cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Well, how about you, Dick Dawson? Have you got anything you wanted to ask, or do you just want to say hello?
When you first started getting into the idea of getting on YouTube to do these type of videos and this kind of content, what were the first on, let's say, the non-reality side of the arguments, what were the first people that you watched and went, holy, if that guy's saying that, I've got to take it down?
Well, I've walked or searched around the flat earth community a whole bunch and before I started making videos. And when I stumbled upon Jake the Asshole, that's really what started me. He started something, or not started, but he was covering the conspiracy theory about wildfires started by laser beams, by direct energy weapons. And I used to be a firefighter and fight wildland fire. And I've been evacuated for fire a couple times in the past few years. It's a big danger here in California. So that really hit home for me. And that's something I just had to destroy. And I'm probably going to revisit it now that I've learned a bit more about YouTube and debunking in general.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's for myself as well, just to finish off. The few ones you do in the beginning, you always want to go back and really hit them properly because now you've really got your feet in the water, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Right on. I'm good. Thanks, Zach. Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, interesting question as well. Right, Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. Hello, sir. Have you got anything you wanted to say or ask? Oi, oi.
Zpostate, my friend. How you doing?
Oi, oi. Hey, man. How's it going?
Cool. Firstly, give the bald white guy a slap on the head. He likes that. And are you still enjoying it as much or even more doing the videos?
I enjoy it more and more with every video I do. I don't really understand why people watch it myself, but I think it's a whole hell of a lot of fun. And the deeper down some of these rabbit holes you go, the more fun it really gets.
I think though, a lot of us creators think the same about, like, why does anyone watch my shit? You know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly. Always our own worst critics, for sure.
Yeah, of course. But no, you're right about when you some of it you can't believe. I sometimes think it's a joke. I'm thinking, but I'm looking at a channel and going, no, but this channel's known for this shit. But it's got to be a joke, right?
Yeah, how much is it? Are they just doing it for subs and trying to get to that precious monetization, or do they actually believe this junk? It's hard to believe that somebody actually gets there. Crazy.
That's it. And like the video we just watched, it's like he must make up so many different mini conspiracies, I think.
Oh, what a sad, sad little man that Hans is. What a pathetic sort of life to live, to just feel that way all the time.
That's it. That's what I said. They're all paranoid to fuck.
True that. Yeah.
Everything around them's trying to kill him.
Right? Or turn him into a woman or a man or something. But I don't understand any of it. Oh, whatever.
It's fantastic fun, though. Right, we've got a couple left on the list. DeadKennedyInSpace. Are you still out there, mate?
Yeah. I have to be totally intellectually honest here and say that because I knew we were covering Hans tonight, I didn't do any research about the upcoming show because I just didn't want to be sad. But that also means I unfortunately didn't learn anything about our guest. So what I'd been doing, as everyone else was talking and I was listening, I pulled up the channel and was looking through the thumbnails and titles, and I was pretty interested. And then I heard you say the word Arcturian, and my hand just magnetically moved over and hit subscribe. I don't know how that happened.
Right on.
Absolutely.
I'll have to move that up the list.
Nice. Okay, just one last quick one because we've got to move on. Logical Troglodyte, have you got anything you wanted to add?
Oh, I'm totally with Jetmonk. I love the bald white guy. And for any of our viewers that are watching right now who hasn't met you or that character, can you lay some of that on us?
Oh, man, let me see if I can find... Bald white guy! Hey, everybody, how's it going, man? I just, he made me get out of my truck, and man, I hate getting out of my truck, but here I am. Shit, who are all these people? There's a freaking monkey here? Is that a talking monkey? The hell?
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much, mate. That's just what I wanted to hear. Give him a little slap on his head. Like Jutmonk says, he really loves that. All right, look, that's been a great little interview. Thank you very much for joining us. Basically, we're going to stick on a little video now, and we'd like to know if you'd like to join in and debunk it with us.
Heck, yes, I took notes.
Oh, brilliant stuff. In which case, Dick Dawson, the man with the plan, would you mind grabbing that fucking enormous remote control of yours and slamming the big red button?
I am on it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Here we go.
Water, when unmanipulated, is to find its level. So whether you look at a cup of water, a bathtub, a swimming pool, a lake, or the ocean, it's flat. Of course, natural motion is not considered and doesn't equal a curve.
He's already made a mistake.
We have 0 authentic pictures of...
Go on, Kevin. Get him.
First of all, I didn't fucking know we were doing Dubé. God damn it. Second, he did it within the first sentence. He conflated level and flat. He said it's always level, therefore it's always flat. Level is not flat. You idiot.
Straight a fucking way, right? It's like rule 1: level and flat are not the same thing. But before we fixate, there's loads more of this. Let's hit play again.
Earth, and they're all composites, and NASA even admits that they Photoshop Earth images.
It is Photoshopped, but it's has to be.
On numerous occasions, NASA admits that we can't go beyond low Earth orbit, which is between 99 miles and 1,200 miles away. The interesting thing is that the moon is said to be 238,000 miles away, which is a difference of 236,800 miles. No matter if you're on the ground, on top of a building,
hold on, because I know what he's trying to do there. What he's saying is, NASA says we can't leave 400 miles, so how do we go 250,000 miles? He's wrong! He's wrong! He's wrong. How basically what it is we can leave low Earth orbit. We've got the technology. Yeah, not a problem. The thing is, though, our electronics don't really like the massive radiation of space, and because we don't use valves anymore, like the 1960s, we prefer to keep our rockets sort of working instead of falling out of the sky on fire. So basically we prefer not to put the guys who are living up there for 6 months at a time in the radiation that's probably going to fucking kill them eventually. However, it's just pointed out that NASA say that they actually probably could go to the moon in the next 5 years, and it looks like they're planning to. So yeah, we can leave low Earth orbit. We've been able to do it this whole time. We've just been planning our fucking moment. Sorry, Jutmonkthedrunk.
That is the year we're supposed to be going back.
Yeah.
What's that? 2024. Yeah. I cannot believe how excited that's going to be.
Yeah.
And think about that.
What about all the satellites and probes?
Videos.
That's it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mirrored one of their videos about that and their plans. It was one of their short videos. It was brilliant, saying how they're going back to stay, and it's not just going to be a little visit.
Yeah, this idiot only got one thing right so far in his video. Learning is fun. It's a shame he hasn't done any.
Clearly.
I should try it out sometime.
Also, if you're learning bad information, is it really bad? Is it still learning? It's like if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it. Technically, you learned all of that shit. It's just that it was shit. You know,
he's not learning anything. He's just denying everything. You know, the water finding its level, that's about hydrostatic pressure. Has nothing to do with the curve. the horizon does not meet your eye level. It's a degree or two below your eye level. And he doesn't understand that the more elevation you achieve, the further you can see. Why? Because it's a globe, you dumbass.
Absolutely.
Anyway, it
Fucking
works.
right. Well said, logical troglodyte.
I've been taking monkey lessons.
Now,
There's learning for you.
is Dick Dawson still with us at the moment? Because I think he said he might have to be away. I just didn't know if it was this pause or the next one. Dick, are you still out there?
I am. I'll do it on the next one.
Okay, brilliant stuff. You hit play just for a minute, then.
Or looking at high-altitude amateur balloon footage, the horizon never fails to rise right to your eyes.
Oh, wrong.
Whether you are looking at Toronto,
wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Right? Yeah.
Whenever we have these images, look, the horizon's at eye level. Then why is it not basically in the center of frame? Is 90% of the time these high altitude ones? Is it in the lower portion of the frame? And then they'll go, well, it's because the balloon's wobbling. Okay, stabilize the balloon, shows the same picture. Oh, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Because then the horizon would be in the bottom. Yes, it fucking would, you fucking lying twat.
Well, look, there's a very simple way to go about doing this, and it's been done on YouTube by several people already. You can make a thing called a water level, where you've got two tubes connected by a sort of a bendy tube filled with liquids. The two liquids will equalize in height, produce a perfect level. Okay, look along it, take a photograph at the shore's edge, and show where the horizon is in comparison to that straight line. Go to the top of a mountain or a hill, do the same thing again. You will see that there's a drop. Take the same thing on a plane and do it. You'll see that there's even more drop. The higher you go, the lower the horizon drops, which is exactly what you would expect on a globe. Although I should point out that even on a flat plane, unless it was an infinite plane, you would not expect to see the horizon at eye level even on that. It should always be slightly below the exact sort of same amount until you get to the edge of it. Now, if it's an infinite plane, possibly all bets are off. But even then, the topography is going to block the horizon anyway, so there shouldn't be a horizon on a flat Earth. So possibly this argument's the wrong direction anyway. But the fact is, the horizon is never at eye level, and it always continues to drop the higher you go. I can prove it. You can prove it. We could go on the internet and find various people who have proven it. We could go out into the wild now individually with a fucking hose pipe and a couple of clear plastic tubes and prove it. It's really easy. Really fucking easy.
Even Danny Pratt could prove it with one of those, except that he tries to bend them over his barbecue grill and boxes it.
Do you know,
if he'd just bent it the other way and used it as a level, he'd have had legitimate science on his hands. It just shows that he's 180 degrees in the correct direction. You know what I mean? He is pointing purely away from what is fucking sensible. Look at this, right? Look at this picture that we're looking at on screen, for instance, where you've got Toronto from Niagara. What's that?
The next one's the better one.
Oh, is it? Oh, play on then. Let Dick Dawson, I notice, is back in the chat, so why don't we see if he can hit play?
Hang on, I think Kennedy wants to say something.
No, what,
oh, yeah, sorry, mate.
Jimbojo, I was going to touch on what you said.
Oh, go on.
You know, like, about the horizon dropping, unless it was...
Is it just me he dropped out then? Hold on, mate. Hold on.
If you gain out...
Jutmonk, can you hear me, mate?
Yes.
Sorry, it's just that you dropped out quite badly there at the beginning. I wondered if you could just start again and have another quick go.
Oh, right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said in one of my videos that even if it was flat, unless it was infinite, if you went high enough, of course it would fucking drop. You'd get high enough, it'd look like a coin.
Yeah, quite. I mean, that's the thing. Is we all talk about the ice wall. What I want to know is, based on the 12,000 miles across that this flat disk is supposed to be, at what height would you be able to see both edges from where you were? Someone must have done the maths on this. It's a fairly basic triangle, right? There's got to be a height at which you would see the ice wall.
I'd say certainly at least landing on the moon.
Yeah, you'd fucking think,
even
wouldn't
if
you?
it was only 3,000 miles away.
Huh. Right, okay, point made. Should we, let's move on with the video. We're getting close to the end now, I think. Oh, Kennedy, I'm so sorry. I forgot about you. Yeah, what did you want to say, mate?
Well, I've got a few things to say. First of all, I made a mistake earlier. I confused their creepy voices. I thought this was Eric Dubé and then quickly realized it was ODD.
That's right, yep.
They have very similar creepy, quiet, polite, way too polite serial killer-y voices.
Yeah.
Another thing, he used that damn line again. It has the problem with that. Everybody knows this, is that quote refers to one photo and therefore does not refer to any of the other thousands of other photos of Earth. It doesn't refer to the original Blue Marble. It doesn't refer to the Daily Himawari 8s or the Discovers. It refers to one photo, the 2002 Blue Marble composite, which NASA admits is a composite.
I thought that was 2008, but other than that, I was just going to go, yeah, you're absolutely right. Spot on the money. Is it 2002, was it?
I might be wrong about the year. There's
no,
a 2001 one, there's a 2012 one.
It was it? Well, this is the point, yeah. He was talking about that one specific photo. Sorry. Hello?
A lot of people in the chat have been saying. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I think I dropped out, but I thought it was you.
No, I heard a bit of silence then.
Oh, okay. Let's start the sentence again.
So the last thing I want to say is something that people have been bringing up in the comments. Is
sure.
Toronto appears to be flooded right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom half of
There's a whole load of that city missing.
Yeah. If he goes back to Olcott, New
top.
York, he'll have about 600 feet of the CN Tower missing, and I'd really like him to explain that.
Well, yeah, this is funny, right? Because I was about to mention this before someone said, "Oh, let's play because the next one's even better." So what I suggest is, we'll let it play for a few seconds because it's going to show a few demonstrations of this, and then we can return to the point.
And from Niagara on the Lake, 31 miles away, Chicago's skyline from Union Pier, 43 miles away, or even Oahu from Kauai, which is up to 108 miles away from center to center, or 73 miles away from the closest
Why
point.
can you only see the top of it?
And why have you got to be above a tree? So you're on a mountain at Oahu. I'm not even going to bother trying to say island names. I'm shit.
Oahu.
Yeah, that one. So you're high enough that you're up the mountain above trees, so that you have to be this high to be able to see it. Go down to the beach and do the same observation, and I'm sure there'll be a fucking big difference. Dear me.
Yeah, the observer height never seems to come into their equation because on a flat Earth it wouldn't, and so I suppose they don't think about it. But on a globe Earth, it makes all the fucking difference, and that's why it matches reality every goddamn time. Sorry, let's really crack on, shall we?
It really matters because they don't understand that being 6 feet above sea level will make a huge difference, let alone being on a hill above a bunch of trees that are God knows how high.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, I looked up the heights on these two islands real quick. So Kauai, at its highest point, which is the one we're looking at, is 5,200 feet in elevation. Its highest, and Oahu is at 4,000 feet. So even at best case scenario, if you were standing at the top of Oahu at the very highest elevation, you could still see 4,622 feet of Kauai in the Earth calculator, and that's not even counting refraction and everything else.
Yeah, right.
So in other words, he's proved our point.
Yes.
Pretty much. He's a globe hero. He's like Runty Flat Earth or Bob Nodell. Another one has joined our side and they don't even fucking realise it. That's brilliant news. Let's hit play again. Let's see what other nonsense he's got to tell us.
You will not see any curvature where it's supposed to be. According to the Pythagorean theorem, which states that the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared, Oahu should not.
It's not. That's a parabola.
Correct.
Be visible.
That's such a classic mistake. He makes mistakes from back in 2015.
Yeah. That's what happens when you live in an echo chamber, though. All the good stuff bounces off the outside.
Yeah.
They're
dumb as
but you
fuck.
can see the whole thing. In 1887, Albert Michelson and Edward Morley conducted what's known as the Michelson-Morley Experiment. This experiment...
I fucking hate it when these idiots screw this shit up. This is so simple, it's not funny. And you wait till this is just going to be ridiculous. Kevin,
just wait. Yeah, it's about 5 seconds from now. It's just genius. Just hit play and let him explain what it was for, please.
Yeah.
Was attempting to prove the speculated motion of the Earth around the Sun, And when it failed...
Was it? I'm pretty sure it fucking wasn't. What about you guys? DeadKennedyInSpace, you know a lot about this sort of thing. What do you think it was for?
If I remember correctly, the experiment was to detect the existence of a potential ether in the air, which it did not.
That's
10
correct.
points for that, man. Ding, ding, ding. Our survey says yes. Absolutely correct. It had nothing to do with the motion of the Earth around the sun. It was trying to detect whether or not light propagated through a medium. It's well recorded, has been for 100 years, and they get it wrong every damn time. Thank you very much, sir. Let's hear the next stupid fact he's got for us.
Albert Einstein was forced to form the theory of relativity to overcome this problem. In fact...
No, he wasn't. How about logical troglodyte? Do you know anything about this sort of stuff, or are you happier in the medicinal and biological fields?
No, actually, I do. And there is one line in the Michelson-Morley paper where they had to correct because they did detect some Earth motion. So they had to correct for it because that was interfering with this potential ether experiment. So they went back, corrected it, got a null result, said, okay, fine, now we can test for an ether. Oh, shit, we don't have any ether.
Exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's about to bring up the theory of relativity, but don't these fucking morons use it every day to upload their bollocks onto the internet?
They certainly do.
You know, all the irony of the idiots that use technology built by scientists that are created because of quantum theory and Einstein's general theory of relativity, and to deny that those things exist.
I mean, look, it's the ultimate question that I get from people who are methodological scientific naturalists. Is what they ultimately want to know is, if our model is wrong and yours is right, why does my model work and why does your model not work? It's as simple as that. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and like Stupid Monkey said in one of his latest videos, just trying to prove that the Earth is not a globe isn't enough. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
If you can prove that it's not a globe, then it must be something else. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that something else is flat.
Yep. This whole premise is based on a false dichotomy, essentially, which is that they think that by removing one, they're left with only other one option. What about a banana-shaped or a donut-shaped Earth? In fact, I've heard a lot of food stuff-shaped Earths, funny enough. What do you think of a banana-shaped Earth, Jutmonk?
Fucking love one, mate. I'd
Yeah,
love one. It'd
a
be like the moon,
beer-shaped
wouldn't
one
it?
would be
Like,
better,
sit
wouldn't
at
it?
the bottom and like look up. Fucking
Yeah,
get a
man.
pair of binoculars. It'd be like flat Earth, which there isn't.
Obviously.
You know, get a pair of binoculars. You should be able to see Mount Everest, but you fucking can't. You fucking dumb fucks.
Yeah. Why, when you're on the tallest mountain in the world, which is either Everest or Mauna Kea, depending on how you look at it, can't you see the whole world? Because you're higher than everything else.
Yeah, you still can't see beyond the fucking curvature of the Earth, you dumb fucks. Come on.
Yeah, I have a medium-sized Newtonian telescope, and I should be able to backpack it up any big hill and just simply set it up properly and find that ice wall. Boom,
Absolutely.
done. Next, come on.
Exactly. Bang, next, come on. I'll tell you what, mate, that's a brilliant way of putting it, though. I'd love to be able to explain it to a flurf like that.
Well, in one of my videos, I can't remember who it was now, but Infinite Plane of Bollocks, I called it. When he pans out and he shows like loads of other mini fucking flat Earths here, there, and everywhere, and I was like, that ice wall was about fucking 2,000 miles high. You know, it would have been seen. I said in the video, it would have been seen from fucking anywhere on the plane. That ice wall.
Quite. A lot of the things that they say, you do a bit of basic maths and it all falls apart. The thing is, I've noticed there is a weakness with maths, and I'm hardly the world's best mathematician. But frankly, I can understand a bit of basic trig, and as soon as you can understand a bit of basic trig, oh shit, we do live on a globe. There's no fucking doubt about it. There can be no fucking doubt. It's a shape. Geometry will tell you that. Geometry can tell you that, and you can prove geometry can tell you that. Problem fucking solved.
Yeah.
Right, let's hit play. Let's see what else is left on this nonsense. We're halfway through. We're getting near to the end of the show. I don't want to have to skip it.
Time mainstream science is faced with undesirable results, they create a workaround, which isn't real science at all. The sun is claimed to be 93 million miles away, with a radius of over 400,000 miles, but can easily be proven to be much closer and smaller by tracing the crepuscular rays.
No, it fucking can't. Has anybody recently done crepuscular?
Right.
You know what, right?
Jesus Christ.
Sounds like a dirty word, doesn't it?
When I first got into Flat Earth, on my other channel, well, it wasn't a channel, it was just what I used to watch things on. I was out walking my dogs, and I filmed proof of Flat Earth, proof of the globe, and the sun in a tree. And it was such a perfect shot that it looked like the sun was literally in the tree with the rays. And I was like, oh, look, the sun's parked in a tree. I think I might mirror that and put it on my video, on my channel.
If you look at that image there he's got on screen,
yeah,
based on where they're going to converge, that sun can't be more than fucking 3 miles fucking high.
No, but the thing is, the problem is, right, the only time crepuscular rays have ever been seen from the air, they're completely parallel. And whenever you drive directly into and under them, eventually, when you turn around, you see them shining away from you.
Over your overhead, even.
Exactly.
In the right atmosphere, right straight overhead. In fact, Wade from Wade's Underworld films it.
Yeah. I've seen that video. Indeed, the point is with crepuscular rays is it's really easy to prove that if you're stood in this one angle looking at the sun, kind of looks like the sun's close. Just like when you take a photo of a sun amongst clouds, quote marks, amongst clouds, it kind of looks like it's sat in them. The reason for that is to do with how we understand light to work, how we understand perspective to work, and how we understand our eyes and or cameras to work. And you can demonstrate all of it, prove all of it, look at it from different angles. Once again, they have this zany fucking claim based on a few photos they found online, which are trustworthy, where all the other ones aren't, by the way, which can all be disproven by other photographs most of the time, which they go, no, we can't trust those photographs, they're photos off the internet. Where do you fucking draw the line with these people?
Yeah, it's just again, it's just to suit them, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't wrap their head around
that's all they can do.
Optical illusions are a thing.
Indeed.
Our eyes and brains interpret things based on how we evolve. We need specialized instrumentation to see a bigger reality. I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's technology.
Right, should we hit play again on the old video?
Go.
Back to its origin in the sky. If the sun were indeed 93 million miles away, it would simply be impossible to have
That's not how you do that, by the way.
As they should
you don't need to pause it, just,
instantly come in straight.
That's hilarious.
According to the globular theory, a lunar eclipse occurs when the
sun... That's not what it's called, by the way.
In a direct line.
Fuck off!
On record that since about the 15th century, over 50 eclipses have occurred while both the sun and moon are visible above the horizon.
Wait, stop. So, to get an eclipse with the sun and moon above the horizon, what's the problem with that? Don't you need to have both above the horizon so you could see one go in front of the other?
Well, it'd be pretty hard if they were
eclipse, not a solar eclipse.
We're talking about a lunar eclipse.
According to the text, it says lunar eclipse, not solar eclipse.
Sorry, that's my mistake.
I think it happens. When one is actually refracted.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I think it's the sun that's refracted, so it's like the sun has actually gone beyond the horizon.
Is it to do with crossing from? Because don't forget, there's a penumbra, an umbra, and an antumbra, and it might be to do with a certain distance and angle means it falls out of one and into another, which would of course mean that it gets lit up and then sort of is darkened without, strictly speaking, being in the line of the shadow. It's to do with the fact that the sun is enormous rather than how they're lined up.
Yeah, he means a very rare occurrence of a lunar eclipse where the sun is setting in the west and the moon is rising in the east, and it has to do with how the Earth's shadow is positioned at that moment in time, and not everybody who sees the lunar eclipse will see it in the exact same way at that particular moment of that type of lunar eclipse, and then it is rare, but from his line of reasoning, if the sun and moon, which, yeah, of course, a lunar eclipse or the solar eclipse appear to be the same size, don't they bump into each other if they were really small and really close?
Yeah, but they're holograms.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes all the difference.
Yep, absolutely. Right. Let's hit play again. Let's push through the video a little bit because I'm keen that we get towards the end of it, frankly, because we're running low on time.
Just to show its rarity, that as Troglodyte was saying then, since the 15th century, so 500 years ago, there's only over 50. It's not over 60 or over 70. It's only over 50. So that could be 50 fucking one in the last 500 fucking years.
Yeah, man. Once a decade is hardly that frequent.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was it.
All right, good point, well made. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, in fact. I'm glad you did stop me. Could we hit play, though, again, please?
Terrestrial plane. It's a common misconception that the shadow of the Earth causes moon phases. Even the pastors and priests of the science religion readily admit this fact. The interesting thing about moon phases is that they are always the exact same 8 phases repeated. But if we were circling around the sun, these 8 phases would inevitably be reversed from the summer to winter seasons.
Hold on. He has misunderstood the difference between how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun and how long it takes for the moon to go around the Earth. If you notice, the phases go from one side to the other. That is the equivalent of our summer to winter period. Don't forget that, like, a lunar day is the same as a lunar month because of the speed at which it revolves. It does one day per orbit, if you like.
Yeah.
So he's completely misunderstood basic geometry again. Circles this time. God, you'd have thought he'd have understood circles on a flat fucking Earth.
No, but they always do this. That's not the first time I've heard that.
Was I hearing things? Did he actually say that the moon's phases?
Sorry, Trog. Yeah, no, Chuck, you're absolutely right. Trog, what was it you're saying, mate?
Was I hearing things? Did this idiot actually say that the Earth's shadow created the phases of the moon?
Yeah.
No, he said that people think it's a misconception. He did say that.
Oh, he did. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was hearing him correctly because I was really getting ready to swipe him up that head.
I'd have jumped to him straight away.
Absolutely.
It's a common misconception that people think that.
Also, by the way, 8 phases, it's not actually the same 8 phases. Those are arbitrary phases that we've created.
Yeah.
It is not fixed. The lunar month is like 29 and a quarter days. So actually what happens is that you never get a perfect, you rarely get a perfect full moon or a perfect half moon. It just, is close enough. Over the course of a week, you'll see it go from half lit to fully lit. So it's not like it's a fast process anyway. I'm surprised that he's trying to claim that there are 8 neat segments. That's just bollocks. You can just check tonight and check tomorrow and check the next day, and that will prove you right or prove him wrong.
No, or just check that it's there if you're that other fucking loser that we look at.
Yeah. Point made. Exactly. Right, let's hit play.
I completely understand that the idea of a flattened stationary Earth seems ridiculous in many ways. But that's only because we are taught the false globe model from the very first time that we enter a school classroom. Not to mention the first time we are introduced to the concept of a flat Earth, it's depicted as a highly laughable world where ships, boats, and water would run off of the edge.
Hold on, just super quickly. I'd like to hand over to my erstwhile friend, the simian Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. Why do you suppose it is that the first time we encounter the model of the flat Earth, people think it's stupid?
Why I think it's stupid?
Yeah, because what he basically said was, it's a conspiracy. Every time, the first time anyone hears about the flat Earth, it's always as if it's a ridiculous idea. And I thought you might be able to explain better than all of us why it's a stupid idea.
I'll tell you why, right? I mean, for me, I went to fucking school, okay? And I trust what I was taught. Now, the first time that I fucking saw curvature, my dad showed me that. And he down in Bournemouth, we have a head, and we looked at a boat going over the curve, and we said, if we go up on the cliff, you can have a look, you can see it's a little bit further. And I really got that, and I was fascinated. And I was always watching boats go over the curve, it's just a thing as a kid. And then other things I look at make fucking sense to me. So what I was taught in school and what I see in reality makes fucking sense. So when someone says to me the Earth's flat, you're a fucking knob.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I'd like to just, by the way, it was pointed out to me when I was about 7 years old that you could watch a boat going over the horizon. And when I was young, I didn't have a telescope, and so it was really hard, especially with English weather. You usually couldn't see that far. And so I'd always wondered what it was like, Until my granddad out in Spain, where the family villa was, got his little mini sporting telescope out and showed me one day. And over the course of about half an hour, I watched this shit disappear from the bottom up, and it blew my mind. And that was the first time I was like, shit, it's a planet. It's a huge spherical rock. I could almost feel it underneath me. I could see it for my fucking self.
And the funny thing is, because like my dad lived in Bournemouth and I used to go and stay with him in the summer holidays, and I swear it'd be like, this would keep him happy for 2.5 hours. It takes ages since you're just there like
staring through this telescope. Yeah, I think you might be
having
right.
a break and then coming back and checking again.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, that is. They must have been keeping it quiet.
And it's brilliant, and you have to embrace why they say, oh, they do it to strip you away, to make you feel unimportant. No, I feel absolutely fucking so special, and like to be on this beautiful fucking blue ball. You bunch of fucking idiots.
Thank you.
What's wrong with you lot, man?
Thank you very much indeed. Look, let's see if we can get through the last couple of minutes of video, because there's not much left now. Really is just a minute or two.
But it's all part of the deception. I've spent 30 years of my life believing that we were on a spinning globe. It wasn't until I unbiasedly and scientifically investigated the flat Earth claims that I started to realize that there is more to this theory than I originally gave it credit for. Now, after almost 2 years of research, I'm certain that the Earth is flat. We are told that the Earth spins at 1,040 miles per hour, while the Earth travels around the Sun at 66,000 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the whole solar system is going inside the Milky Way galaxy at a speed of 490,000 miles per hour.
Sorry, just quickly, I hate this fucking graphic they use. I'll keep it going.
It's the worst.
And finally, the entire Milky Way galaxy is darting through infinite space at over 1 million miles per hour. Most people believe this,
big numbers.
And yet every experiment ever conducted to prove even the simple spin of the Earth has failed.
Wrong.
No, it hasn't.
That's so fucking stupid.
DeadKennedyInSpace, you sound like you wanted to add something there. Sorry, DeadKennedy, what was that, mate?
Well, that's just straight up wrong. Like,
yeah.
Name one, please, because as far as I know, every experiment to prove Earth's rotation has actually worked.
Right.
What
all you have to
bothers
do
me-
is go to the damn pendulum. There, done.
Yeah.
Move on.
What bothers me about Odd is the way he likes to cherry pick science, because like he spent a lot of time in this video talking about light and the way light behaves, like with corpuscular rays and everything, not understanding how light diffuses through the clouds. Here's a basic two-part question for Odd. One, do you accept that we can verify and know the speed of light? Two, if we can, the moon is 238,000 miles away, end of story.
Laser reflectors, yay!
Excellent point, well made. I mean, yeah, they had laser reflectors on the moon. I mean, in theory, I think it was possible to do it with radar without those reflectors at one point. You don't necessarily need to have even been there to do it. It's just that the fact that we did do that, and that allows you to bounce a laser back, is this brilliant double whammy of both. A, it's definitely this far.
Oh, we've lost a Jim, or have we lost a me? I don't know.
We've lost a Jim.
It's just the sort of thing you need to wave in their faces. Not that they accept any of it, anyway. Now, we've got the last few seconds to go.
All you've got to do is it's Bob and his lovely laser. It wasn't what they said now. It wasn't a laser gyroscope.
Fiber optic gyro.
Fiber optic gyro. But of course, that was to do with the stars moving above them, not the fucking planet.
Energies of the heaven, Barman. Get it right.
Oh, why should I get something right? They don't get fucking anything right. Why should I start getting?
I know. He tried it with all that bismuth chamber and the anti-Gauss chamber and all that bollocks. What a bloody tragic mess that was. Look, let's hit play. See the last few seconds. Have a quick round table and say goodbye. Okay.
The same thing goes for curvature. It's never been proven, and the only time we see it is in movies, NASA CGI, or when we're looking through a distorted fisheye lens.
Or how about real life, you dumb fuck?
With all that said, please continue to research critically and don't be afraid to ask reasonable questions and speak out.
The one sensible thing he's said all day.
It's a shame he doesn't take his own advice.
He always closes with that sensible ask questions message, but he doesn't abide by it at all, hence the fact that everything he said in this video was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel a bit ancient, even though it's not that old a video.
Ugh. But let's be fair, everything he sort of covers has been debunked more times than bloody the woman round the corner who stands with that red light's been taken round the back. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's
well, this is it. Look,
ridiculous.
We've got to the end of that video now. What I'm going to do is do a quick round table and talk to everyone before we say goodbye anyway. So, yes, Sarcastic Barman, basically. I want your final thoughts on the thing. And afterwards, if there's anything you want to shell out for anyone, or there's any goodbyes that you want to make, or shout outs or anything really, just sort of add that on to the end.
Right, we'll start with some simple bits. I'll quickly run through some bits on there. For Curve of the Earth, Spin of the Earth, we can just thank Globebusters for that. They sorted that for us. For looking at the actual curve of the planet itself, we can do a simple one that even he could do, ODD. Do a left to right compression on a fucking photo. Look at the curve with the straight lines in between. Simple. You're just lying through your ass, ignoring facts, and anything we present will be no.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You. I've not really got any shout outs to this week, which is really annoying, though I did see someone in the chat, Stupid Monkey. I love that name, especially as we have with Jutmonkthedrunk.
Yeah.
It's quite amusing. And for everyone, please check out my part 2 of my evolution video.
Go and see that. Brilliant. All right, thank you very much, Barman. All right, next on the list we've got Dick Dawson, mate. How are you feeling about this whole arrangement? And have you got anything you want to tell people before we go?
Yeah, first and foremost, ODD on YouTube, avoid at all costs. Think of it as a big pile of cow shit on the sidewalk and you're about to put your foot in it. Just don't do it, right?
Just step aside.
Yeah, number 2, everybody head over and check out Zpostate. Sub his channel. Link is in the description. The guy kicks ass and takes names. Get over there and check him out.
Absolutely. Well said, that man. Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey, sir. What about you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd done a video on ODD. He had a problem with school, basically, and he went down that
Why
route.
am I not surprised?
And saying it's like a training camp. You have to put your hand up if you want to go to the toilet. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course, because, you know, the teachers have got a duty of care to your children, our children, everyone's children. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have to look after them. They have to teach them.
Does he want his kids just running around? Because I fucking wouldn't. You know,
absolutely.
They're not just going to run off to the toilet whenever they want. You know what I mean? That's what we want.
Yeah, it is. He's right in a sense. It is a training place, but it's not a camp, is it? Because you don't live there against your fucking will. You get taken there where they feed you, they teach you, and in theory are helping you become a member of society who can survive on their fucking own, rather than. I mean, if it's indoctrination for people to help you and give you tools to make sense of the world, then fine, I want to be indoctrinated. But frankly, I think the guy's a nutter. DeadKennedyInSpace, what have you? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was saying another thing he says is like, you know, we want our children to fight against the system, and I'm like, I fucking don't want my children doing that, you know, like. This fucking, if he wants his kids to go out and be complete fucking bellends and get in trouble with the law, then he's fucking deluded, isn't he?
Yeah, quite. Do you know what? I was about to pass it over and I realised I wanted to say goodbye to you as well because we're at the end of the show. I was just having so much fun. I got lost in it. Is there any shout outs you want to give to anyone or anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
No, man. I met Stupid Monkey a couple of times and I've spoken to Stupid Monkey. He spells his monkey with a capital M. That's class, that is.
Yeah. Good man. Nice. All right, DeadKennedyInSpace, what about you? Got any comments before we sort of say goodbye?
Yeah, I gotta say, contrary to Hans, ODD doesn't make me sad when I watch his videos. They actually kind of make me happy because he is a wonderful reminder of all the different ways we can prove the Earth is round.
Right? He's great.
Like anytime I watch his videos, I'm just yelling at the screen like Cavendish experiment or Soundly's observations, or like I'm constantly just yelling globe proofs at it, and I realize, yeah, it's clearly a globe, and this guy is the perfect evidence for it.
Absolutely. When I watched this video earlier, I was going to write some notes, and I sat down, put it on, and every 30 seconds I just sort of shouted out what was wrong, exactly like you were saying. I was going, nope, it's this, nope, it's that, nope, it's this. And by the end, I was like, I didn't need notes. I know all this stuff. This is like, it's almost like a training video. He is a good training video for like globe proponents in training, because you just sit down and quiz yourself on all the stuff that you know. Logical Troglodyte, I'll take it to you last of all. What do you think about this evening's madness?
Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's just the same old, tired, worn out, multiple time debunked talking points that the flirts can't get over. As far as any shout outs and thank yous, I want to thank our guest for coming on and keep making content, Zach. And don't forget to give us our weekly dose of bald white guy. Stupid Monkey in the chat. If you haven't seen him, go check him out and subscribe to him, as well as to Zpostate. And Vic Tunes says he wants to just tell us that this show has become my fave on Tube. So thank Vic for that. I've gotten to know him a little bit in Discord chat. He's a great guy. If you haven't met him yet, you can find him on Discord and chat him up. He's real cool to talk to.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Right, so I've got through the list of my people. Basically, though, there's one more person in the room. We didn't hear from him a huge amount during the debunk. I probably should have called you out more. Sorry about that. But Zpostate, what did you think of the video? And what do you think of the evening so far?
Oh, man, it's like Dead Kennedy said, it's just one point after another has been debunked. There's one thing in there, though, that really sticks in my craw that guy said. And it's when he's talking about the science, saying about, this theory proved this, and Albert Einstein had to come up with a workaround or something like that. And that is so telling about how little this guy understands about science. That's the whole freaking point of science, is figuring out, oh, this shit doesn't work, so let's learn more and figure out what does work. It just shows his ignorance 100%. This guy is a freaking joke.
That is an excellent point. I hadn't really thought about it, but that's a very good point. Well made. Now look, basically before we say goodbye, I wondered if there was anything more that you wanted to sort of shill out for yourself, other people, any shout outs you wanted to make before we all say goodbye.
Yeah, everyone else mentioned him too, but definitely check out Stupid Monkey. I lent him Bald White Guy for a comment response video that he did, so that one's up on his channel. Give that a check out. It's real cool. Stupid Monkey's a great guy. Really like working with him. And I'll have more wild, wacky nonsense to come on my channel. Please like and subscribe. And thank you guys so very, very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Brilliant, thanks. Well, you're perfectly welcome for coming on. Now, to everyone listening, Zpostate is an absolutely fantastic content creator. If I didn't emphasize the point at this point enough already, I think he's absolutely fantastic. To the point, in fact, where we will be playing out this evening on one of his videos. So when it gets to the end, don't disappear, stick around, because it's a really good one and we think you'll enjoy it. So it falls me to finally say, before we pass over to Dick Dawson one last time, that as ever, our panel have given some lovingly crafted and thoughtful responses to some serious questions, but mostly we've all just had a laugh at the idiots. So keep an eye out for new updates on my channel as well. If this is my bit of shilling, I will have a few new videos out, so have a look for that. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please consider subscribing. It's not just because we want the adulation, it helps new channels like us grow. So when we bring Zpostate on and say you should get over to his channel and sub, I mean, really do consider it, because the stuff he's bringing out is definitely worth the subscription and the notifications. We hope the stuff we're producing for you is the same, and every time you give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, or someone subscribes to us, it helps us grow that little bit more, get noticed a bit more, and get out our sort of style and show to one of you, and we can make even more of it. So I think we've come to the end of the road, guys. What do you think? I'm going to invite Dick Dawson to tell us about the next video before we roll it up and say goodbye. And for the rest of us, basically, we're all going to say goodbye now, lads.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, and to play us out, ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement to Orphan Red by the one and only Zpostate.
Oh, hi, folks. It's just your friendly neighborhood Zpostate here. I'm taking a break from training my attack dogs. Get them! Kill them! Oh, God! Oh, hot breath! To make a little video here in my backyard. Now, if you know me, you know that I only make videos in my backyard when I really want to have a heart-to-heart with you. Or when my wife is doing laundry. You know, we like to have a lot of fun here on the YouTube skeptic community, whether it's debunking flat earth or chemtrails or alien lizard people. But recently, there's been something that's not so fun, and that is copyright strikes. Now, as most of us know, copyright laws are put in place to make sure that some dweeb can't steal your original content and claim it as their own. What it wasn't created for is crying and bitching and moaning and generally being a little bitch. Somehow, that little stipulation on the copyright laws didn't make its way to Orphan Red's desk. And we know that because recently she's taken up the habit of putting copyright strikes against fair use of her content, criticizing her ridiculous nonsense views. Join me over here at camera 2. Specifically, in the last couple of weeks, she's made copyright strikes against Logical Troglodyte and the Sarcastic Barman. You see, neither one of these creators took her content and tried to claim it as their own, which is what a copyright law is supposed to protect. Instead, what they did is took her jive-ass nonsense and broke it down and exposed her for the moron that she is. Now, there's already been a few responses from this community to Orphan Red's actions, whether it's Leah's logic and her description of Orphan Red's manipulative behavior, AB Science's scathing takedown of her general beliefs as a whole, or Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey's eloquent prose. Now, I'm in a unique position to make my own response, because, you see, I happen to be probably the smallest channel on YouTube, and for that reason, I won't be monetized anytime soon. So, here's my message to you, Orphan Red. Fuck you. The way I see it, if you're gonna come on and criticize people for believing the truth, you know, that the Earth is freaking round, you should be able to take a little bit of criticism yourself. If not, get the hell off of YouTube. At the end of the day, I guess we know one thing for sure. While Mensa may reward people for high IQs, they certainly have nothing to do with integrity. Also, we know that your hypocrisy is about as big as your... I'm not going there. Don't stop.
On a rotating, whirling, twirling rock in space that is just a fantasy in your head.
Comes to a light in the sky being a gas in a vacuum. Second law of thermodynamics violation, a violation of a natural law.
With the chemtrails, they put little, these nanobot things, that come down, come inside of us.